So I held up on setting up the entire living room space because the TV is a key piece and I wanted to have that fully set up before putting everything else in there. So there's no couch, no carpet, no lighting, nothing, just a blank space behind me. So today we're going to change that. It's not going to be the final form. Right now we've got everything that we'll need to get this place up and running and kind of make it homey and usable, because right now it's just an empty space. So the plan is to mount the 2024 85-inch frame TV onto the wall, center it, and then put a sideboard underneath it to create kind of an artsy look. So the reason why I chose to go for the 2024 frame TV, or just the frame TV in general, is because it's got a really nice display that works really well if you're deciding to mount a TV in a room where there's going to be light coming in or lots of light to deal with all the time. And as you can see behind me, I've got a large window that's gonna always let in a lot of light, and I don't want to have to cover it or close it or black out the room just to enjoy my TV. So that's why I picked that up, at least one of the reasons why I did. I also love the fact that it's very artsy. It looks great when you're not using it, which is going to happen a lot. I want it to just be in kind of art mode, which is a mode that allows you to cycle through different paintings or photographs. Okay, let's do it. Now, I started by replacing 3 receptacles in the room with ones that have built-in USB ports. These usually come in different configurations, but I opted for receptacles featuring one Type-C and one Type-A port. The reason for this choice was to facilitate direct phone and laptop charging without the need for power adapters. The receptacles I installed offer a maximum power delivery output of 65 watts. This means that the receptacles I chose are more than capable of handling multiple devices simultaneously. I ordered these receptacles off Amazon, making sure that they adhered to the electrical code in my city. Compliance with local regulations is important to me, especially tamper resistance, which is one of the most important features that I looked for. Tamper-resistant outlets are designed to prevent foreign objects from being inserted into their slots, thereby reducing the risk of electrical shock, especially in households with children. I don't have any children, but I do have a little nephew that visits me from time to time. The installation process was relatively straightforward. It involved turning off the power to the circuit at the breaker panel, removing the old receptacle using a screwdriver, disconnecting the wires, and then reconnecting them to the new receptacle in the same configuration. After securing the new receptacle in place with the screwdriver, I turned the power back on to the circuit and checked to ensure that everything was working as expected. The entire process took me about 5 to 10 minutes per receptacle, demonstrating how easy and quick it can be, especially with a bit of prior experience. I installed 2 of these receptacles on the main wall, and the last one was installed on the short opposite wall, where an accent chair would eventually go. This strategic placement ensures convenient access to charging ports from different areas of the room, enhancing the overall functionality of the entire space. The next thing to do was mount the new TV onto the wall. During the pre-order stage of the 2024 Samsung Frame TV, there was a promotion offering a significant discount, so I ordered the 85-inch model through Best Buy Canada. I was told to expect it by the end of April, and got really excited, but it arrived towards the middle of June after so many delays. By then, my excitement for the TV had died down as well, but I was still really happy to finally be able to set up the living room. I didn't want to waste any more time, so I jumped right into unboxing the TV and taking out everything that it came with. This included stands, cables, a One Connect box, and wall mounts. The Frame TV uses a unique wall mount that mimics how you would mount a picture frame onto the wall. These mounts are specifically designed for the Frame TV and contribute to its art-like experience. It has a very low profile design and allows the TV to achieve an almost flush fit once mounted. Everything needed to get this done comes with the TV as well, including a detailed step-by-step guide. One of the standout features of the Frame TV is the One Connect box that it uses. This innovative device serves as the central hub for all connections to the TV, allowing for a cleaner and more organized setup. So instead of having multiple cables running directly into the back of the TV, you only need a single, slim, almost transparent cable that connects the TV to the One Connect box. This design significantly reduces cable clutter and makes it easier to manage connections. The step-by-step guide included in the box provides very clear instructions on how to install these mounts, making the process accessible even for those who may not be particularly handy. Before mounting the TV, there was some prep work to be done on the TV itself. According to the installation guide, I had to attach stickers and install mounting hooks on both sides of the back of the TV. I accidentally missed the right sticker while filming, but I added it on later. Additionally, I added a soft pad to the bottom area of the TV to provide a thin cushioned surface between the TV and the wall. Overall, the unboxing and initial installation process was pretty smooth and well thought out. The inclusion of everything needed, including clear instructions, made it easy to get everything ready for mounting. Now, when the house was being built, I made sure to ask the builders to do some things that would eventually make my life easier after moving in. One of the things I asked for was that a cable pass-through be added behind the wall, connecting the top to the bottom for easy cable management. I also had them add a receptacle to the top and the bottom to create multiple options to power the TV, as well as any accessories I needed to connect to it. By planning these details during the construction phase, I was able to achieve a TV setup which not only looks aesthetically pleasing but also simplifies the process of cable management. To achieve a flush fit between the back of the TV and the wall, I modified one of the outlets at the top of the wall to push the Cat 6 jack further into it. There weren't any Cat 6 jacks at the bottom of the wall, which I definitely needed to connect devices like my TV box or a gaming console. In order to fix this problem, I connected a Cat 6 slim cable to the top jack, pushed it into the wall to prevent the connection from sticking out, and then dropped the other end of the cable through the pass-through behind the wall to bring the connection all the way to the bottom. After that, the next step was to install the wall mounts. This process was not difficult at all, but it's easy to mess it up without proper planning. You want to be meticulous when taking measurements and follow the manual to avoid mounting the TV too high or too low. I had some help from my girlfriend, and together we decided on the best height for the mounts relative to the couch and the main seating area. After taking various measurements and triple checking everything, it was pretty much time to start drilling. This process went by quickly, and I made sure to use plenty of screws and washers to secure both sides of the mount onto the wall. Once we had the mounts up there, the last step was to connect the only cable that needed to be connected directly to the TV. This cable connects to the One Connect box, which is essentially the brains of the TV. The cable is also very slim and transparent, making it less visible when used in the TV setup without a way to hide it. The TV isn't very heavy, but I still suggest getting more help in order to mount it depending on the size that you get. Now, we got the 85-inch model, and the manual suggested having at least 3 people put it up together, so that's exactly what we did. Once we had the hooks securely hanging off the wall mounts on either side, it looked exactly as I had hoped. The height was perfect, it was level, no cables were visible, and we achieved a very flush fit. Before setting up the One Connect box, we decided to bring in a sideboard bought to use alongside the TV as a media cabinet. We picked it up locally and thought, this would look great underneath a picture frame, or in our case, the frame TV. It had openings on the back side, allowing us to pass through all cables without any modifications needing to be done. The One Connect box provides power and data transmission to the TV using a single cable. I've always thought this TV technology was pretty brilliant as it separates the brains from the actual display. Besides the One Connect cable port on the box, there are 4 HDMI 2.1 ports, one of which supports eARC and ARC, and RJ45 Ethernet ports, optical coaxial USB, and an AC power port. I quickly connected the box to power and then to the TV above before moving on to add the Apple TV box, connecting it to one of the HDMI ports. I picked up a refurbished one to save some money, and knowing I had a Cat 6 cable pre-ran for it, made sure to get one with an Ethernet port. Although Wi-Fi is usually pretty good for most tasks, I definitely prefer a wired connection whenever I can get it. Now, this not only provides a more reliable and faster internet connection, but also better access to my home media server and all my PoE cameras. At this point, the TV was pretty much ready to be set up, but we still had to finish up the rest of the living room. We started off by vacuuming and preparing to lay down the floor rug. The rug was brought from our previous living room space because it fit better here with the warmer tones. Before laying it out, Hannah unboxed the accent chair to avoid making a mess after cleaning up the floor and then laying out the rug. We picked up the chair from a local store, but it was missing the cushion, which we had to do as a special order item based on the color. Once that was done, Hannah took out the new rug pad, which we bought off Amazon. Now, this thing is supposed to help in reducing slipping and any issues that may arise from using the rug directly on a hardwood floor. Now, after laying it out, we rolled out the rug on top of it and then trimmed off the excess pad sticking out on one side of it. Next thing I did was bring in an 8-foot artificial plant to place right next to the TV wall in order to add some greenery. Moving on to the couch. Now, this was delivered a few months earlier, but we couldn't fully assemble it until the TV was mounted. It came from the same local company where we got most of the other furniture, called Crate and Barrel, and it's called the Lotus Collection. We made sure to try it out in store before buying it to make sure that it was comfortable and exactly what we wanted for the living room space. The brighter color also worked well alongside the warm tones we were aiming for, making it a pretty good choice for our space. It provides a similar feeling and comfort level to what one would expect from a cloud couch, which are well known for being extremely comfortable. It isn't quite the same feeling, but it's definitely much better than my previous living room couch was. The Lotus is a modular sectional couch that you build by selecting each unit. We chose 4 pieces that form an L shape with the longer end facing the TV directly. Each piece of the sectional uses a click and lock mechanism, making it quick and easy to secure them together. Once done, we brought in the coffee table. Now, we didn't have much space, so we chose something minimal. I picked up a nesting coffee table set, which is a pair of small tables placed right next to each other. Initially, I thought they wouldn't be a good fit, but after placing them at the center of the room, they fit much better than I had expected. I love their simple yet modern design, and they also take up very little space. Next, I added a side table to the shorter end of the couch for holding small items like a drink, for example. It wasn't anything special, but we thought its design fit well with that of the coffee table and the sideboard. Now, it was finally time to turn on the TV and run through the setup process. The Frame TV comes with the same remote that many other Samsung TVs or monitors come with, and it can be set up using that or the SmartThings app. I decided to use the remote for the setup, which was pretty straightforward. I then added the TV to the SmartThings app for expanded controls like smart home automation and access to information on my electricity usage. After quickly setting up the TV and my art mode preferences, I switched the input source to the Apple TV in order to get that up and running. This was very quick since all I had to do was sign into my Apple account, and it then synchronized the new edition with my other devices. I typically don't use the built-in OS that comes with any TV because I prefer a dedicated device with more features. I use a few of them in different locations throughout my home as smart home hubs, so adding one here just means I can now get notification here as well. As soon as it finished downloading all the apps I needed, I jumped into the settings menu to ensure everything else was functioning correctly, including the HDMI cable. When paired with the frame, the Apple TV box should be able to output content at 4K and up to 60 Hz with HDR10 Plus capability. You can test the connection between both using the Check HDMI feature on the Apple TV box. The most important thing most people will look for in any TV is the quality of its display. And the Frame TV uses a QLED panel that can output up to 4K resolution at a maximum of 120 Hz refresh rate. This is great for any kind of home entertainment from movies and TV shows to high FPS gaming. The colors on the TV looked good from the start, but there weren't any noticeable improvements from the 2021 model, which I wasn't really expecting, to be honest. The only change to the display in the newer model was the addition of automatic variable refresh rate, which helps reduce electricity wastage. This means the TV will now automatically switch to a lower refresh rate when used in art mode, which only displays pictures. The matte finish on the Frame TV's display has quickly become one of its main features and one of my favorites. It makes it perfect for bright spaces and creates a more natural looking picture frame appearance. Even though there wasn't much light when I finished setting up the TV, the matte display's effect was still very noticeable, drastically reducing reflections of all kinds. I really enjoyed having this feature on the 2021 model since it was also mounted next to large windows that let in lots of light. The situation here is similar, with plenty of light coming in from the left side of the room. We still plan on adding blinds and drapes to the window and the door, but not blackout ones, as the goal of this space is to create a modern living room with style and functionality, not a movie theater. It was starting to get very late, which was kind of perfect timing since I was ready to unwind, kick back, and enjoy the new space. The next day, we received the cushion for the accent chair, which we had added the day before. This made the chair now usable, and I'll tell you guys right away that that special order color was definitely worth the wait. I love that it adds to the overall warm aesthetic that we were going for in here. As far as I'm concerned, this is now the perfect corner to charge my phone, and I'm sure it will become a hot spot for friends and family as well. Now, the night before, I watched as the large plant that I added descended into the darkness, which I definitely didn't like at all. Subsequently, the following day, I decided to add the Gobi Floor Lamp Pro right behind it to light up the area with some ambience, creating a nice contrast between the wall and the plant. We're still waiting on some more items, but right now, I think we have some of the most important things that make up a cozy room. From the super comfy cloud-like couch and accent chair to the clean and cable-free TV setup that also doubles as a digital art piece, I'm pretty happy with how everything has turned out so far. The design features of the Frame TV, especially the One Connect box and the unique wall mounts, set it apart from other TVs and make it an excellent choice for those looking to combine functionality with aesthetics. Having no visible cables is definitely my favorite thing about the space, but I also enjoy having easy access to fast phone charging. Adding the ability to charge devices directly from the wall outlets without the need for additional adapters may sound like a minor upgrade, but it's going to contribute to a cleaner and a more organized living room space. I plan to follow up this video with a review of the TV after using it for a little bit here. I'll also do a full tour of the entire space once things are a bit more settled and it's a bit cozier. Anyway, that's it for this one. Let me know what you guys think about the new living room space and the 2024 Frame TV down in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. If you made it to this point, I really appreciate it, and I hope to catch you in my next video. It's Tommy, and I'm out, y'all.